Tonight, World Series MVP Madison Bumgarner and former Cy Young Award winner Zach Greinke meet in another NL West showdown. Greinke has been dominant this season, is the Major League's ERA leader. Bumgarner is the Giants' ace, and tonight he's looking to be the stopper for the Orange and Black. Pitching is center stage as two of baseball's best meet in Game 2 of the series, and it's next.
Another night of baseball here at Dodger Stadium as we get ready for Giants baseball. This is Game 2 of this very important three-game series, Giants and Dodgers. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krutko. Tough loss for the Giants, a game that took way over 5 hours, but hey, you have to try to bounce back tonight, and when you try to bounce back tonight, it's not bad to try to do that with Madison Bumgarner.
Well, no, it isn't, especially when he has a 13-5 lifetime record against these Dodgers. And the guy he's facing, Zach Greinke, the Giants have never beat him. He's 6-0. He's been perfect. So it just gets all down to the one thing that we talk about in big games, and it's execution in situation baseball at the plate, and it also is making the big pitch when you need to get a ground ball, when you need to get a strikeout. Watch Angel Pagani. He's back in the lineup, lifetime a 278 hitter against Greinke. I think he may be a difference maker tonight.
All right, should be fun here tonight at Dodger Stadium in Game 2. It's Bumgarner and it's Greinke, two of the best in baseball. Stay tuned. We'll take you to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
melted garlic herb butter. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, back here at Dodger Stadium as Zach Greinke takes the field. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 72 degrees here in L.A. See, winds are light, humidity at 77%. All right, let's take a look at the lineup that Zach Greinke will be facing. Angel Pagan is back. He'll lead off, followed by Duffy and then Belt, who's pretty hot. Posey, Bird, and then Diaza. We'll see Diaza for the first time. Tomlinson is going to hit 7th, Bumgarner 8th, and Adrianza 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Dodgers will be the right-hander Zach Greinke. Greinke 6 feet tall, 195-pounder. He's 31 years of age, and he is in his 11th year at the big league level. And this is what he has done this year in 26 starts, 14-3 with a 1.61 ERA. Outstanding numbers in the 164 strikeouts, 179 innings against 31 walks. Gives you an idea of what type of stuff he has and what type of command he has with that stuff. When you're in the batter's box against him, you're going to see a fastball that'll go 96 miles an hour, depending on what he needs to do. You'll see him X the corners with sink, with cut on both sides of the plate. He'll throw a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. He has excellent feel with all those pitches, meaning he will add and subtract speeds on all of those pitches. It's a guy that you just you can't outguess. He is as quality as this league has to offer. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Zach Greinke. Starting in the Dodger outfield from left to right, it'll be Ruggiano, Peterson, and Van Slyke. The best arm in right field with Van Slyke. Rollins and Turner on the left side of the infield. Peraza, Gonzalez on the right side. A.J. Ellis, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's the first pitch of the ball game, and it's a called strike. So we get underway at 7:10. Pagan hitting .258 with 26 runs batted in. So 2 quick strikes, and it's 0-2. Blanco, the night off. A little stiff from last night, as Pagan fouls it straight back. Giants 4-6 in their last 10 games. The Dodgers are 6-4 in their last 10. So Bumgarner getting ready. And the 0-2. And this is a pop-up down the left field line and out of play. A healthy Pagan and a hot healthy Pagan would do wonders for the Giants.
Well, you're right. I mean, they're looking for energy this time of year. This is a team that's leaking oil, and you can say this for the Dodgers as well. I mean, they're taxed physically. Now you bring energy with Pagan into the Giants lineup, and he could be a big difference maker.
A lot of transactions today, a lot of new people in town. There you see Diaza, who arrived after the trade with Boston. Hudson and Pagan activated. Hall and Sanchez, their contracts were purchased, or they were brought in from AAA. Noonan's contract was purchased. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Maxwell and Lawless designated for assignment. 2-2 pitch, tap to Gonzalez, who'll go to the bag, and that's how this game gets started. Home plate umpire is Mike Winters, then Malinsky, Wagner, and Foster.
And Mike Winters a good umpire. He's a big strike zone early in the game, but the zone will tighten up as the game wears on, but it's a consistent one. You'll see low strikes, you'll see strikes at the belt, you'll see corner strikes. He looks for strikes.
So here's Duffy, who went 2 for 6 in the game last night, hitting at .302 with 10 home runs, 60 runs batted in. 0-2. So you see Greinke can hump it up a little bit. I mean, that was at 93.
And you'll see his best velocity fastball wise in 2 strike counts. And he will elevate across the letters with a 94, 95 mile an hour fastball.
And you really, at this point, don't think of him as a fastball guy, but that fastball you just saw leads you to believe that he can still do that.
And here's what he throws. You're going to see a fastball about 51% of the time. A lot of cut, a lot of sink. His changeup, slider, curveballs. I mean, he'll mix all those in, but he'll back off speeds. He'll add speeds. Tremendous touch.
And that'll be foul down the right field line.
Greinke against the Dodgers or the Giants 6-0 with a 2.28 ERA. I mean, he's always pitched well against San Francisco.
That's the numbers Mike's talking about. And he got him.
Hard slider with some straight down bite. And I think of all the pitches that he has, that's the one pitch that sort of stands out when you compare it to other sliders around the league. Because it is a hard straight down bite. And it's almost as big as a curveball, and he has outstanding feel with it in regards to the strike zone. He can go on both sides of the plate with it with consistency.
So here's Belt. Belt at 283. He's got 17 home runs, 61 driven in. And decent numbers against Greinke with a home run. One ball and one strike. With Buster Posey to follow, just underway here at Dodger Stadium. And Belt fouls it back. It's now 1-2, and that's 94.
Rarely will you see him throw the same speed twice in a row.
And he comes back with another fastball. It remains 1-2. There's Buster Posey, who had a terrific night last night. Buster last night was 4 for 7. And breaking ball 2-2.
Big slow curveball. And that really is 78 mile an hour. That's kind of the average of his curveball. He can back it off to mid-60s. Throw a balloon up there. He's creative with the type of feel that he has on his pitches.
Out of play. Greinke rubbing up a new baseball. Dodgers win last night. They pick up a game on the Giants. They're now 4.5 up in the National League West. 3 shakes of the head, and now Greinke's ready. And that's in the dirt, 3-2.
That's a big league scud right there. Too much pine tar. The guy with his command. Well, how did he hold that last one? I think A.J. Ellis, the Dodger catcher, is thinking the same thing.
Belt rolls this one out to the second baseman, Peraza, and that's going to end the inning. So 2 ground balls and a strikeout, and Bumgarner's coming out. And the lineup that'll be facing Bumgarner, it'll be Jimmy Rollins, followed by Peraza, and then Justin Turner, who's got pretty good numbers against the Giants this year and good numbers against Bumgarner. Gonzalez will hit cleanup, then it's Van Slyke. Ruggiano just acquired. Ellis will hit 7th. Greinke will hit in the 8th spot, and then Jock Peterson 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Madison Bumgarner, 26 years old, 6'5", 250-pounder. And for Bumgarner, this is what he has done in 26 starts, 16-6 with a 2.97 ERA. Just a power arm, 192 strikeout total against 30 walks at 175 2/3. And it's rare you can combine that power with the command that he has. And when he's right, you're going to see a fastball that goes low to mid 90s from the low 3/4 release. It has a natural cut to it. You're going to see a lot of fastballs. He also has a big slider, a curveball, and a changeup. And he will elevate that fastball into strike counts. He's right. You'll see a lot of ground balls left side of the infield off the right-handers and a lot of broken bats. Defense behind Bumgarner tonight. Giants are going to welcome Alejandro De Aza in left field, joined by Pagan back from the DL, and Marlon Byrd. That's your outfield. Adrianza and Duffy on the left side of the infield. Crawford needed a day after getting hit on the calf last night in the game. Tightened up. Tomlinson and Belt on the right side of the infield. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs. And there's Alejandro De Aza.
Welcome aboard. Here's Rollins, who bounces the first pitch foul. Rollins 3 for 7 in the game last night. He scored a couple of runs, so he had a lot to do with the extra inning win for LA. Six for 28 lifetime against Bumgarner. And this is foul down the left field line. It's 0-2.
Well, if you're looking for ways to get a crowd into the ball game early, a loud foul will do it. Definitely had the sound of home run distance.
One and two on a breaking ball in the dirt. So 1 ball and 2 strikes with Jose Peraza on deck, and Rollins goes around. 1 out.
Base number 19, Jose Peraza.
So Peraza is going to face Bumgarner for the very first time. Good looking sky tonight.
Hey, red sky night, Sailor Delight.
Yeah. Bounces this one to Adrianza. So Peraza is out. Brandon Crawford, as Mike said earlier, got hit on the calf last night. And he got hit hard.
Dave Greshner, Giants head trainer. The right side of your screen. Saw him at lunch. He goes, I don't know about Crawford tonight, man. He really got hit hard last night. So I was surprised he could even finish the game.
Turner 1 for 4 last night. And he takes a strike. His numbers against Bumgarner, we mentioned a little bit of ownage. It's really extra base ownage more than anything. 2 home runs and 2 doubles. And a quick 0-2.
It's kind of different when you face a guy who's got a leg hitch as high as Turner's, because it's almost like you're pitching to another pitcher. Turner lifts that leg up as high as Bumgarner does. rare that you see a guy have that much hitch. And the hotter he gets, the higher the leg hitch is. High leg hitch. I mean, he'll swing those hands down around his hip and then get them up high. But it doesn't matter. As long as when you drop that front foot, you're down in time and your hands are in a good position. And for Turner, it all works.
This is where Crawford got hit last night. Really missed the slider. Missed the front leg and got the back one.
And we thought it was a shin shot, but it got him in the calf, and it immediately tightened up, and it went into a spasm. And he gutted it out, but today a no-go.
Crawford, or make that Turner just got a piece. It was funny, we were having coffee in the lobby this morning, and Dave Gresham came by, and you asked him, you said, well, how's Crawford? And you were asking him about his size, basically, forgetting that he got hit in the calf. And Gresham said, no, he's not doing very well at all. And then he explained that it was his calf. But he did survive, having spent 5 days not playing with the pulled muscle in the side. Turner strikes out. That's going to end the inning. 2 strikeouts for Bumgarner. And it'll be Posey, Bird, and Diaz coming up.
Bird was doing it again on the right side of second base. He had a third inning 2-run single. In the 8th inning in a 4-3 ball game, he comes up big, opposite field base hit that would tie the game at 4-4. And in the 12th inning, he comes up with a defensive gem, taking away a base hit from A.J. Ellis. All in the day's work for Marlon Bird. That's a Togo's big play the Togo's way.
So the pitch to Buster Posey is low. Buster last night, as we mentioned earlier, 4 for 7. Got that average back up to 321. Taps this one to third. It's a fair ball. And Posey's going to beat it out. So I'm assuming Buster's going to get a hit on that.
It is a difficult call for an official score because there hasn't been a hit in a ball game. And they indeed ruled a base hit for Buster Posey. That would have been a pretty good play from Turner's perspective, going to his right, just up the line, and Adrian Gonzalez has to get the ball, so leaving the bag. Giants get the first hit.
First hit of the game. And here's Bird. And Bird fouls it back. He's got 5 for 26 numbers against Greinke with a double and a home run. Two for 6 with 3 RBIs in the game last night. A 1 ball and 1 strike. So we're seeing Greinke now out of the stretch. And sometimes that can make a difference. Swing and a miss.
Lots of downward movement with just about everything he throws. And usually when he misses down below the strike zone. And the movement's quick.
Got him. So here's Diaz taking his first at bat in a Giants uniform. Alejandro Diaz. He's from the Dominican Republic.
He started the season out with the Orioles, then he went over to Boston, and last few hours of the trade deadline of August, the Giants got him from the Red Sox. Diaz originally came up in the Dodger organization. And he got traded to the Marlins and made his major league debut there. And then he really established himself with the White Sox, and he's had some big years. He had a year in 2013 where he had 17 home runs, 62 RBIs, and he could always steal a base. He's had double digits in stolen base totals 6 times in his big league career.
This is hit off his foot, fouled, so it's now 0-2. Diaz against Greinke, he's faced him 8 times. 8 times he's got 3 hits.
I think it got him on his shin, just below his right knee. Traffic still trying to get in. A lot more people here tonight than there were last night.
So it's 0-2 to Diaz. 1-2. These numbers are from this year. Orioles 30 games, Red Sox 60 games. So you can see he enjoyed the Red Sox a little bit more than the Orioles. 2-2. Kelby Tomlinson on deck, and then Madison Bumgarner. Hit into center field, and Peterson now comes in slowly. Here's our Geico quote. It comes from Bruce Bochy on last night's 14-inning loss. He said, "That's a hard-fought game on both sides. Gutty job by our bullpen. They were fighting. That's just a great game. Unfortunately, we didn't win it." And he said he told his guys exactly that after the game. Here's Tomlinson with 2 outs. Tomlinson last night went 1 for 3. He came out on a double switch. Tomlinson pops it up. It's Van Slyke giving way to Peraza, who drops it. He dropped it. Unbelievable.
pitcher number 40, Madison Bumgarner.
Well, a pop-up, you're thinking off the crack of the bat, it's going to be the end of the inning. And Peraza going out. Now all of a sudden, a little bit of the pop-up dance. There's not a lot of wind here tonight. A little trickling more than there was last night. And now Greinke's going to be asked to try and pitch through an air here. And it is an opportunity for Madison Bumgarner. That gets caught 99 out of 100 times. And a tough error for a rook. Hit him right in the pocket, too.
Bumgarner hitting at 262. And he pops it up. It's Van Slyke giving way, and Peraza catches this one, and that's going to end the inning. Giants strand a pair. It's 0-0. Pizzeria. See Giants fans and Dodger fans here at Dodger Stadium having some fun. The Justin Turner bobblehead, which was today.
Well, there's a Justin Turner fan. You can just tell, can't you?
Yes, you can.
You don't think that was his real beard, do you?
No.
Yasiel Puig on the disabled list with a hamstring problem.
So here's Gonzalez to lead things off. And he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Gonzalez ended up having the game-winning hit last night. He went 2 for 7. Also hit a 2-run home run, which hurt. Bounces this one to Tomlinson, and Gonzalez will be retired.
The old one-knee pickup.
Even at that, that was an in-between hop. It's about the time you think you're going to get a routine ground ball, you realize that maybe there aren't routine ground balls.
All right, let's take a look at the one knee. Drop down, block it, get low. It all looks routine when you make them.
Here's Van Slyke. Van Slyke hitting at 243. He's got power. Last night he went 0 for 3.
Pretty good success lifetime against Bumgarner. He really backs off the plate more against Bumgarner than he does against other pitchers. He knows that fastball from Bumgarner is going to cut into him.
Piazza played on a hop, so that's the first hit of the game for the Dodgers. And that'll bring up Ruggiano.
Left fielder number 27, Justin Ruggiano.
So Ruggiano coming over in a trade before 9 p.m. last night. That's when you could acquire a player and still keep him on the postseason roster. Ruggiano 2 for 3 with a home run lifetime against Bumgarner.
I think it's exactly why they brought him over here. He spent most of the year in AAA Tacoma. That's the Seattle AAA affiliate. At Seattle, hit .296 with 10 home runs. At the big league level, 36 games with the Mariners, hit .214. Had a couple of big flies. He's got a little pop in his bat.
Well, the Giants saw Ruggiano when he was with the Marlins. A.J. Ellis on deck. Van Slyke with his lead at first. And there's a foul down the right field line and out of play. So Bumgarner out of the stretch for the first time.
And don't think that was not a big reason why Ruggiano's here, because of the success that he has had against Bumgarner. They get him here, they hurry him here, and here he is in the lineup tonight against Bumgarner. Bumgarner has really pitched well against the Dodgers this year. He has owned them. 2-0 with a 1.31 ERA in 3 starts. Lifetime against Los Angeles, 13-5, and here at Dodger Stadium, 8-3. And his ERA into this ballpark is 2.08. So to say that he feels comfortable on that mound is a good assessment.
Hit on the ground to Adrianza. That's one. And that's all they'll get.
Well, if you're not a season ticket holder, you still have a shot at postseason tickets. You can register right now at sfgiants.com/tickets for a special opportunity to purchase tickets for possible postseason play at AT&T Park. You register right at sfgiants.com/tickets for a chance to purchase tickets for either a potential wild card game or a divisional series. You must register by noon on Sunday, September 20th to qualify. Go to sfgiants.com/tickets and register.
So here's A.J. Ellis, and Ellis takes a strike. Ellis got into the game towards the middle of the game. Last night ended up going 0 for 2. He's only had 4 lifetime at bats against Bumgarner. He's 1 for 4. Two balls and 1 strike. Outfield straight away. Ruggiano at first, and Ellis takes up and in. 3-1. Greinke is on deck. Dodgers have played well at home. They're 45-21 at home. Ellis hits one out to right field, not well. Bird's coming in and he can't get it. It'll put runners at the corners for Greinke.
Just a little dead bird. And the first step that Bird had was back on the ball. He could not recover, so it sets up a first and third situation with a couple outs. And both pitchers tonight hitting in the 8th spot of the lineup.
So Greinke 12 for 55. And he pops this one fouling out of play.
I guess with Marlon Byrd in the outfield, we can't call those base hits dead birds anymore.
Oh, and 1 to Greinke. Oh, and 2.
Keep climbing that ladder. If he's going to keep swinging at those high fastballs, just keep going higher.
Foul.
Instead, he comes in with an 0-2 breaking ball, and on his front foot, Greinke stays with it and hits that ball hard. The thing about a pitcher, you have to remember, they don't have a great knowledge of the strike zone. You don't have to throw a strike to him. And that's right down and in the bottom of the strike zone.
Two and 2.
A little too high. But that's the idea.
Or make it 1 and 2. I beg your pardon.
It's a good play right there by Posey.
That almost flattened out on Buster Posey, or it did flatten out, but he still got it.
You don't know what a fastball is going to do. Is it going to skim? Is it going to stay down? You gauge where you think that hop's going to be, but that easily could squirt underneath your glove and through your legs. That was not easy.
Caught by Duffy, and that's going to end the inning. That had a 2-0 score written all over it, and what a play by Duffy.
He didn't have a lot of time to get to it either. That'd be a pretty good game, partner. Area, and Telemundo 48 is the Giants play the San Diego Padres, and the Giants will honor the team's great Latino tradition which will provide our usual comprehensive coverage in English on NBC Bay Area. On Telemundo 48, we'll present an authentic Spanish language telecast hosted by longtime Giants broadcaster Erwin Higueros and Telemundo's Gabriel Sotelo. Giants Hall of Famer Orlando Cepeda will also be on board as a special guest, and he will be on both broadcasts. Fiesta Gigantes broadcast.
Here's Erwin. Erwin did 14 innings alone last night. I asked him, I said, "You do the last 3 in English because you were tired?" He goes, "Nope." Adrianza swings and misses. He speaks perfect English, perfect Spanish.
Oh, he's a good baseball man, too.
Two balls and 1 strike.
But we missed Tito Fuentes, who did not make the trip down to L.A.
He was doing the game in his living room. Hit to right. 1 out.
Let's take a look at the play that ended it for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 2-strike breaking ball. Yankees goes down there and just rakes it. And a high backhander from Matt Duffy. And if he doesn't get this, as Kai pointed out, it's 2-0, and the Dodgers are still hitting. Great play.
Bumgarner was screaming into his glove all the way down into the dugout.
I think he's into this game.
You think he was upset? Yeah. Here's Pagan, who bounced out to first to open up the ball game. Here he takes a strike. Duffy to follow. And that pitch is down low.
Once you see that first pitch, big curveball for a strike, and he throws it to you again, and he brings it down in the dirt, it's tough to lay off that pitch. And he also takes a little speed off. Like I said, if he throws 2 pitches at you, the same pitch, they're not going to be at the same speed. The other thing about Greinke, he will not get on that mound unless it's absolutely perfectly clean.
1 and 2. So Pagan trying to reach for Duffy. And he drives one to right, but there is Van Slyke, 2 outs.
Well, the Giants will host these Dodgers at the end of the month in a 4-game series that could have postseason implications. September 28th through October 1st. Check out the $25 dynamic deals for the games on the 28th and the 29th. Do not miss the Giants-Dodgers postseason rematch. And you can get in for just $25. Go to sfngiants.com/dynamic deal.
Duffy struck out in the first, 1 of 2 strikeouts for Greinke. Swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
He's not picking up that slider. When you know that is happening as a pitcher, you think you have a magic pitch against a guy. If he gets a second strike on him with another pitch, a fastball in, or he will go back to that slider. And if it gets to a point where he has to make a play with it, with a pitch, he'll go back to that slider.
Two balls and a strike. Duffy.
Greinke is not an easy guy to call a game for because he's going to call his own game. A.J. Ellis is just suggesting. And there's the big slow curveball at 73 miles per hour. Just a big balloon that just kind of freezes you, and that sets up the slider.
Tap to Greinke, and that'll end the inning. Jock Peterson will lead it off. It's 0-0.
To you by Bay Area Mini.
Log on to csnbayarea.com as insider Alex Pavlovich provides wire-to-wire reporting of the Giants this season. Breaking news, video special features only on csnbayarea.com. Here's Peterson. Peterson takes down low. Bumgarner wanted it.
Dangerous numbers. Home run total, RBI total, on base percentage, great.
Drives it to left. Piazza's going to get there and make the catch. So pretty good swing by Peterson.
Peterson had 6 hits in the month of August. So I think he's pretty happy that he's in the month of September. Because basically in the month of August, he lost his job as an everyday center fielder. Kike Hernandez took it over, and he had a hamstring injury. Otherwise, he'd be playing, and Peterson would not be.
So here's Rollins, who struck out in the first. Here he takes a strike.
In the month of August, Bumgarner was spectacular. 5-0, 1.43 ERA, and his curveball slider combination were electric.
It's a belt-high fastball, and he fouls it back.
The two guys who are going head-to-head in the Player of the Month in the month of August, Madison Bumgarner, Jake Arrieta. You see the numbers, both just spectacular. And I didn't think it's possible, but Arrieta actually has the edge in the numbers. The only dominant figure that Bumgarner has is averaging 12 strikeouts a game compared to 9. Suffice to say, both are deserving.
Rollins taps this one foul.
And Arrieta punctuated his 6th win, a no-hitter against these Dodgers on Sunday. And they don't really take into account what a guy does offensively. Bumgarner had 2 home runs in the month of August.
Well, I think that tips it over to his side.
Well, we're hoping.
1-2 pitch to Rollins. Close, 2-2.
Just a bit low. The grass in the infield here at Dodger Stadium is very similar to the speed of the grass at AT&T Park. The infield here is very good.
And Rollins strikes out again.
Breaking ball in the dirt. The speed, the gaps of the outfield, very similar to that of the speed, the gaps of the outfield back at AT&T.
Here's Jose Peraza. Peraza saw 1 pitch and bounced out to short.
With a broken bat. Last night there was carry to the outfield. There was 0 wind, and now that the wind has died down, similar situation tonight. Take a look at the payoff pitch to Jimmy Rollins. Breaking ball down in the dirt.
Pop down the right field line and out of play. It's 1-2.
He's getting that fastball up the bat.
And that's a bloop.
A little 2-strike, 2 out. We're going to call it a duck snort. Just over the head of Tomlinson. Not much he can do about it. No chance for Bird and Wright. But with Peraza, now you got a base stealer on base. Great speed.
And we'll see if Bumgarner gives Buster Posey a shot. 2 outs, and Peraza in all that speed at first. He does not go, and the pitch is inside for a ball. 1-0.
He was going back to the bag. The first time you see Bumgarner as a base runner, watch what Peraza does. I'm going back to the bag. So I'm just saying, I don't think he's really got him down yet out of the stretch.
Strike.
The thing about Bumgarner, which is so deceptive out of the stretch, is he's got such a big upper body to him. You think when he turns his body as big as he does, he's coming to first base. So a lot of times his best move to first base is a non-move.
One ball and 1 strike. Posey digs it out. It's 2-1.
Bay Area baseball fans remember Kenny Holtzman, who pitched with the Oakland Athletics. Left-handed pitcher, had a very similar move out of the stretch to home. It was so deceptive. You just never felt comfortable as a base stealer. You always thought he was going to come to first base, and his best defense against the base stealer was not throwing.
And you're right. He had him going back again, but it's 3-1 now to Turner.
you're going to send Peraza at first base and you're Don Mattingly, the skipper of the Dodgers, you're just going to green light him. Meaning get as big a lead as you can and go on first movement. Because he does not have him down.
Last night, this 2-run home run tied the game.
A little two-strike mistake from Jake Peavy. He didn't make many, but that one he did, and Gonzalez jumped all over it.
Gonzalez rolled out to Tomlinson in the second. A base hit to left field. Here comes Piazza. Here's his throw home, and it is late. It's 1-0.
Giants fans will find out that Alejandro Piazza has a good arm. And once again, Gonzalez going after that first pitch. This is how the game ended last night, going the opposite way in the first pitch. And Piazza coming up. Not even Piazza's arm a match for the speed of Peraza. Had a great jump with 2 outs.
So here's Van Slyke. And a strike to Van Slyke. Peraza with a little bloop to keep the inning alive, and then a walk, and then Gonzalez a flare to left. And it's another than 2.
Back-to-back perfect pitches on the outside corner. I do not think that Van Slyke is enthusiastic about the strike call for Mike Winters, the plate umpire. If you're a pitcher and you're getting them, keep going out there.
Got him, and that'll end the inning. Dodgers on the board. It's 1-0 after 3.
Is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company. The Solar Company. Switch to solar and save.
1-0 Dodgers. Here's the pitch to Belt, and Belt hits a high foul down the left field line and out of play. Belt, Posey, and Bird here in the 4th. So the Dodgers scratch one out. 0-2.
One of the strengths of this Giants lineup has always been their ability to make adjustments off their first at bat. It'll be interesting to see how they make adjustments against Greinke this second time through.
In the dirt to Belt.
You watch guys take their at-bats against Greinke, and you watch their lower body. How much of their lower body are they getting into a swing? Because with Greinke's ability to take a lot of speed off of pitches and add to pitches, very difficult to stay in balance and get good drive off your back leg into it. Well, that's a good swing right there. And you'll get a lot of hitters to reach when they're taking their at-bats against Greinke. Good backside throw there. And you'll see Belt hit a lot of balls off his front foot, but he had power in that swing. Greinke again shaking off 5 signs, and it can be frustrating for a catcher. You keep putting signs down. He's got like 6 things he can do with the ball.
Out of play.
I think Greinke shakes off more than any pitcher, at least in the National League West.
One and 2. 2-2. There's Buster Posey, and then Bird, and then Diaza. Giants like to send about 8 men to the plate here in the 4th. Belt taps this one foul off his foot, so we'll do it again. So Belt, the one guy getting some pitches out of Zach Greinke. Foul again. I'm thinking that we might just sit here and do this for a while. Just watch Bell hit some foul balls for a while.
That's all right. Get some pitches out of Greinke.
Just take a little bit of a breather and just watch Belt do his job. Three and 2.
That's exactly where he wanted to throw that pitch. And this is not Greinke's normal catcher. A.J. Ellis does not usually catch him. It's usually Monty Grandal. Here they're trying to elevate 2 strikes. That's a tough one for Belt to lay off.
Awesome.
Keep fouling him off. Comes at him with a breaking ball at 77. Fastball at 93 up. Change sight lines. I mean, he just does so many things with the baseball. And he has the ability to spot it all around the strike zone.
Awesome.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
This is it. I'm psyched. It's only 11 so far. I'm thinking about 18.
Well, if you get an 11-12 pitch at bat to start an inning off, and you get on base by way of walk or knock, that is an absolute big inning setter-upper, for lack of a better term. But it does. It sets you up mentally with the pitcher.
Did you see what he just asked, Greinke? He said, "You got anything else?"
He's called 7 pitches. He's throwing 7 pitches.
He said, "I'm going with a knuckleball here." It's 3 and 2. Line drive right at Peterson, who puts it away. So for Belt, a good at bat.
28, Buster Posey.
Buster Posey, the only hit for the Giants. It came in the second. It was a slow roller down the third base line. Posey, it's a high drive to left. Ruggiano back. He's there, and he makes the catch. Buster's had a few of those in the last month.
Well, as we've seen since spring training, I mean, he'll go up there, especially against guys like Greinke. Well, there aren't many guys like Greinke, with the better pitchers. And he'll try and jump on that first pitch, thinking that's going to be the best pitch he'll get in the at-bat.
So here's Bird. Bird struck out in the second. And they're going to say Bird went around to even the count. One ball and one strike, a 1-0 lead for the Dodgers. A 1-2.
So he goes fastball cut at 92 off the plate, movement away. And he throws him a breaking ball. He checks a swing on. And he goes 93 with two-seam movement coming into him on the inside corner. Slider at 86. You watch this guy and the pitches that he throws, it doesn't throw a fastball twice in a row very often.
Two and two.
Kind of, if he was a boxer, he'd be a guy like Sugar Ray Leonard. A lot of jabs, just give you a lot of different looks, keep you off balance. I mean, that's how he pitches.
Two and two to Bird. Bird lifts it into right center field. And that'll end the inning. It'll be Ruggiano to lead things off.
Without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
On Wednesday, September 16th, the Reds are going to be in town, and the first 20,000 fans are going to receive a World Champions belt buckle, courtesy of Scottsdale Convention and Visitors Bureau, sfgiants.com/tickets. Here's Ruggiano, 1-0 LA. And the pitch. And this is bounced foul. Virgiano reached on a fielder's choice on a ground ball to Adrianza. Nothing in 2.
Taking out the outside corner. Bumgarner's breaking ball starts so wide when he hits that outside corner. If you're hitting off him from the right side, you just have to fight yourself to stay on it. You can usually give up on it.
Duffy gets a big hop. 1 out. And here's A.J. Ellis, who blooped the single into right field in the second.
17, A.J. Ellis.
Tell you what, he's come around very well defensively at third, Matt Duffy. And it took him a little while, but he looks like a natural now. He does.
He really does. He's learned to dance over there. And I think once his feet became more familiar with the position, I think his hands got softer.
Plus, you know that with Bumgarner on the mound, you're going to get some work. With Bumgarner on the mound, you're going to get some work.
He's got that cut fastball that bores hard into the right-handed hitter, and it's an easy pitch to pull.
It's nice, though, if you get that. It's nice if that third hop is a really nice hop. Those last 2 have been exactly that. There's Greinke. I have a feeling for Bumgarner right now. The only thing acceptable in this at bat is a strikeout. No balls and 1 strike.
You may be right. His last at bat with runners at first and third in a 2-strike count. Greinke hit an absolute bullet down the left field line, and only a great play from Duffy prevented a 2-run inning for the Dodgers.
If Duffy doesn't catch this, this goes down the left field line and it rolls for a while.
That's the play of the game so far. That was a good one.
Buster's going to come back, and he's going to make the catch right by the Giants on deck circle, and that'll end the inning. For the Giants, it'll be Diaz, Tomlinson, and Bumgarner coming up. 64. Giants are at Shea Stadium, and Masanori Murakami became the first Japanese-born player in Major League history. The Giants lefty pitched one scoreless inning. He struck out 2 in his debut. Masanori Murakami. How about that?
Mashi, a true ambassador of baseball. Far East, he is one of our all-time favorites.
Yeah, we see him every once in a while.
Not enough.
And for the Giants, it'll be Diaza to lead things off. And he takes low. Diaza hit a fly ball to center field in the second. We're in the 5th. 1-0 Dodgers. There's a strike, and that'll even the count. Foul down the right field line.
Will Clark used to say that the guys who had the ability to add and subtract were guys that would really get you into a good swing because you couldn't get long against them. Guys in his generation like Earl Hershiser, great touch with a lot of different pitches, and Greinke the same way.
Rollins scoops it up on one hop. Got him.
Diaza can run, and he almost beat that out.
Hey, our friend and president and general manager at CSN Bay Area, Ted Griggs. Ted's here.
So you know what that means later on, right?
Bob Horowitz sitting to his left. Ted making the trip.
He's
to
in
Southern
town.
California.
Free cocktails tonight.
Absolutely. You think Ted will whip out the credit card?
Oh, absolutely he will. It's time to get the 18-year-old stuff.
One-0 pitch to Tomlinson. Check swing foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, tonight I want you to order for me. All right.
You got it.
You order, and I'm going to look at Ted's face, see if he grimaces a little bit.
So if I order the Pappy Van Winkle 23-year-old family reserve,
absolutely. I want to see if there's a wrinkle at all.
He won't bat an eye.
Two balls and 1 strike. Tomlinson reached on an error in the second. 2-2.
Good curveball.
Trying to get on for Bumgarner. Got him.
Third strikeout for Greinke. Put him to sleep with a big slow curveball, and here he zips him to a little fastball right at the base of the strike zone. Tomlinson thought that was low.
I think he got rooked, is what I think.
I think he got rooked.
So here's Bumgarner.
It's tough when you're a rookie.
Bumgarner popped out. Swing and a miss. 0-1. First time ever both pitchers hitting in the 8th spot in the same game. 0-1 pitch to Bumgarner. Breaking ball skied out into right center field. And that's going to end the inning. Bottom of the 5th coming up.
strongest fan photo to hashtag CSNBA Data Strong Fan. And you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. And this is Cooper Moss, 6 months old from Lakewood, California, being raised correctly. And that is a gamer baby. And that is our T-Mobile fan photo. Let's go, Coop.
Cooper. All right, now we're talking. So here's Peterson. Peterson lined out to Diaza in the third inning. 1-0. Dodgers scored in the third. Bird with room. Two out, or one out.
Shortstop,
Here's
City
Rollins.
Rollins.
No Utley tonight.
No Utley.
Rollins has struck out twice.
Chase Utley, bag of seeds and enjoying the night off. Were you a seed guy?
Was I a seed guy?
Yeah.
No, you know the kind of guy I was.
Well, you could still have a schmag and have some seeds.
No, impossible. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
That was not a seed guy.
They were much more popular now. I mean, a lot of guys just chewed tobacco, and sunflower seeds has really been a great substitute for that for the players now. There's a strike. It's better this way.
Yeah, I mean,
A few guys going down.
chewing tobacco, that's not good. Seeds, 14 different flavors.
There's a shot into left field, a base hit. Diaz is going to knock it down. Rollins is going to put on the brakes. So a 1-out single with Peraza coming up.
Jose Peraza.
Giants are going to respect the bunt at third base with Duffy. He'll play even with the grass. Peraza, lots of speed. And Rollins, a base stealer at first base.
Peraza, a little bloop job into right field in the third. Here he shoots this one towards the gap. Pagan's going to make the running catch as he slides in towards the gap. 2 down.
Oh, that's a nice play. With the speed of Peraza and Rollins, if this gets by him, you're looking at a run in and a triple. And what do you say we make it our forward right choice? Good to see Pagan back in center field, and here really taking away extra bases from Peraza. The concentration, slide for style points, and Rollins has to go back to first. Our forward right choice.
So here's Turner. Turner struck out and walked. No balls and 1 strike.
One more look. Cradles it right in the pocket. Sweet spot. Big fellow liking that. Buster knows his slider's good. He's going to call it again. When Bumgarner gets that slider going, it almost feels, if you're hitting against it from the right side, like the pitch is coming at you from the first base line. It's just so big, and there isn't really anybody that has that type of break.
Nice play by Posey.
The other thing too about Bumgarner, in the uniqueness that he has, it's enhanced by the deception. He has a crossover step. When he plants that foot, it's a little bit of a crossover step, the big upper body turn, and you do not see the ball early from either side.
Foul ball. 2-2. Rollins with his lead, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see if Rollins thinks about it. He goes. Mr. Posey has no chance.
Well, that's the advantage of familiarity. You talked about Peraza, the rook, earlier in the game, really not being able to time the move from Bumgarner, and there you see whatever the tell was, whether it be in the foot or the front shoulder, whatever it was, Rollins picked him clean, and his jump was so good, Posey couldn't even get on the throw.
And this is a little roller back to Bumgarner, and that's going to end the inning. So no runs, a hit, 1 left. Pagan saved a run on this nice running catch into the gap. It's 1-0 Dodgers.
Well, Monday, September 14th, is Step Up to the Plate. Your special event package will include a ticket to the Reds game and a bobblehead of Tim Hudson, advocate of human rights and ending poverty.
Adrianza ran up as if he was going to slap it at somebody, and he takes it for a strike. Oh, 1 pitch to Adrianza is a foul down the left field line. Pagan to follow, and then Duffy. Adrianza reaching here would be good. 1-2.
Well, you're right. Anytime you can get leadoff hitter on, especially against an ace. Giants have had 1 base runner on against Greinke tonight, by way of a hit, 1 by way of an error. Just 2 base runners.
Roll to second for Peraza, almost threw it away. 1 out. So here's Pagan. Pagan is 0 for 2. In at third is Turner. And there's a strike, and it's 0-1. Duffy to follow. Down the left field line into the seats. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
The hitters will go up there and they'll have an approach. They'll think one speed, they'll think one side of the field, they'll look for one pitch. I mean, they'll have a plan. And then with 2 strikes, you just kind of try and get quick, defend, think back up the middle, and that's kind of how you have to take your bat in its entirety against Greinke.
Hit into left center field, a pretty good ride, but Ruggiano is there backpedaling, and he makes the catch. 2 outs. So that's a good sign for Pagan. I mean, when he starts driving the ball that far the other way, it looks like he's pretty healthy.
12 in a row now, retired by Greinke. And I agree with you. I mean, he's this far into the season, and he doesn't have a home run. Gives you an idea. I mean, he just hasn't been playing at 100% through most of this year.
Duffy swings and misses. No balls and 1 strike.
Going right out there again with that first pitch slider. He knows that Duffy is not seeing that pitch. It's the 3rd swing through he's had with that pitch tonight.
Out of play, so it's a quick 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. And there's a really slow breaking ball. 1-2. One-two pitch. Here it is. Got him, and that'll end the inning. 4 strikeouts for Greinke. It's 1-0 Dodgers.
And insurance brokers, insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit HEPINS.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Well, keep up with the pennant races in true HD quality on MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, visit MLB.tv today. So Gonzalez will lead things off. He dumped a single in the left field to knock in the only run in this game. And here he takes wide, 1 ball and no strikes. Outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
Good hard slider. From Bumgarner's perspective right now is simply match the 0 on top of you. When you're the visiting pitcher and that hometown guy is putting zeros on the board, you've got to match it.
Good take by Gonzalez. Got him.
Hard slider. See you later. So that is the 5th strikeout today for Bumgarner. All of his strikeouts have been swing and miss strike threes. The slider continues to be a great weapon for him.
Here you see John Miller and Dave Fleming, Lee Jones in the background. Those are our partners, and we dig those two guys.
Yep, they're our buds.
Roped to left, and that's the second hit for Van Slyke on the first pitch, and Bumgarner not happy.
Way off the plate to get it in. Breaking ball, he has a little height to it. I think that's why he's upset. He doesn't like when anybody gets hits off him. He was on the outside corner, it was just up, and that's why he was upset.
Inside to Ruggiano, 1 ball and no strikes.
That's like we'll go. You have to check him.
Swing and a miss. Van Slyke with his lead, not a big one. Swinging a foul back, 1 and 2. 1-0 Dodgers. It's been that way since the Dodgers scored in the 3rd. Swing and a miss. He got him.
He stayed up top the whole at bat.
Ruggiano will take a hike.
6 swing and miss strike 3 strikeouts. Just got the hardball right there. And he can go country hardball mode in a heartbeat.
Ellis is 1 for 2. Bumgarner down low. That's pitch number 85.
He knows he's got a good slider right now. Pose is riding it.
Adrian's it. with an effort, and it shoots by him for a base hit. And we'll see the third matchup between Greinke and Bumgarner.
One thing about Greinke, when he gets in that batter's box, the fans here at Dodger Stadium, they're into it. You don't usually see that type of reception for a 211 hitter. However, 211 for a pitcher is like 311 for an everyday player. And his first at bat, he hit a bullet.
This was the line drive that Duffy caught. And back in.
2 strike, 2 out, 2 on. And that saved a big inning.
High, 1 ball and 1 strike.
You never know, you might catch somebody sleeping. Don't think you have to throw a strike to Greinke. He's gonna swing.
He wanted to. 2 balls and a strike.
It's definitely personal between these 2 guys. To my surprise, he is laid off. The high fastball, and then he lays off the breaking ball down below the strike zone. Lots of power on deck. And the concern you see on the face of Bochy, Dave Righetti. Hard slider and a 3-1. Definitely not giving into him. He's pitching Greinke like he's Justin Turner, and you have to. He's digging deep right here.
High and foul. And we'll do it again. Three and 2. Got him in the dirt. And that'll end the inning. Bumgarner strikes out the side. Giants need some offense. Belt will lead it off.
Toyota dealer. Let's take a look at the 2 starting pitchers and compare how they've done tonight. 6 innings full, 1 hit allowed by Greinke, 7 by Bumgarner, 1 run, an earned run allowed by Bumgarner, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and the pitch count just about the same. 88 for Greinke, 93 for Bumgarner, and that's where we have it going in the top of the 7th inning. 1-0 Dodgers, and that was our Toyota game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealer.
So good matchup as we expected. Here's Belt to lead things off. Belt has had some long at bats against Greinke. The only thing he's got to show for it is he's forced Greinke to throw a lot of pitches.
Greinke's thrown 89 pitches, 20 of them have been to Belt.
And Belt ropes one into right field. There's a base hit. First hit for the Giants since the 2nd inning. And here's Buster Posey.
The 2nd time that they have put the leadoff hitter on against him. So that ends a streak of 13 consecutive Giants hitters retired.
Buster hit a ball to the warning track in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2. Down low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Buster adjusts the batting gloves. Down the right field line and out of play. That evens the count. So the fastball by Greinke, that fastball was at 91. Gonzalez holding on Belt. Two balls and 1 strike. Greinke acted like he wanted it.
He absolutely wanted it. That's pretty much the strike 3 pitch he got with Kelby Tomlinson, and he did not forget that. You get it once, you want it again, and he wanted it. Right at the base of the strike zone. So Posey manages to stay off that breaking ball. I don't know how. But he's got count leverage here, 3-1. And a runner on with nobody out in a 3-1 count. That's been a rally for the Giants.
And the walk. .95 pitches for Greinke. Bird is 0 for 2. Rick Honeycutt's going to call down to the bullpen.
Bird in 10 games with the Giants, this is 17 RBIs, and they've set the table for him here.
One and 0.
He's been on an RBI terror.
Diaz is on deck. Belt with his lead at second. Posey off of first. Foul back. Good swing by Bird. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
He was on the fastball challenge in the 1-0 count. Juan Nicasio starting to get greased up in the pen for the Dodgers.
Greinke looking into A.J. Ellis. It's the 7th. Tapped. Turner's got it. He will flip and throw to first, and they got him.
Now look at this one. Mike Malinsky, first base umpire, making the call. Giants have asked Mike Winters, the plate umpire and crew chief, to hold up while they take a look at it. And I think they got him.
And they're going to take a look at it.
No, that look right there, it looks like he beats it out.
Yep, it does.
And that's the look that they saw that encouraged the Giants enough to challenge. This look here looks like he beats it out.
I don't know, Mike. This replay review is presented by Xfinity. I mean, we've seen a ton of different angles, and the problem, Mike, is which one of these is absolutely certain that he's safe, and if you're not, then they're not going to change the call.
Well, he touches the bag right there.
So I don't believe this is going to be overturned. I hope I'm wrong.
Well, at the very least, it was a brilliant play from Justin Turner even to make it close. And if they get the out, it would be a productive out, but nevertheless, some defensive brilliance from Turner, the third baseman.
You don't think this is important to this game?
To the season? So
I think they're taking a long look at this to see if there's one good shot of Bird being safe.
The longer it goes, the better chance you have of getting it called your way.
Except Bochy just totally upset. So here's Diaza. Meanwhile, did not Ricky Honeycutt have time to do this while they were looking at the replay?
You would think. But hey,
Meeting on the Mound is brought to you by Ring Central. Business communications made simple.
At the very least, it's icing down Greinke. I mean, it's been a long time since he's thrown a pitch. But how about Alejandro De Aza about to take the at bat? I mean, welcome to the Giants.
Yeah. Biggest at bat of the year.
I mean, you get a runner at third base in a one-out situation. For Greinke, he's going to pitch for one thing: strikeout.
Yep. Diaza is flied out and bounced out. He does have a base to work with if you'd rather face Tomlinson. So we'll see what happens and see where the Dodgers play the infield. So a ground ball to short or second and even first would probably tie the game.
Pressure's on A.J. Ellis here. I would imagine most of this is going to go down low.
And that's foul down the right field line. 0-1.
He hasn't out waiting around. He was looking for something middle in. He was ready for it. make some friends in the Bay Area, Mr. Diaz. Here's your chance.
1 ball and 1 strike.
He does not care if he walks him.
Belt at third, Posey at second. One and 2.
Down in the dirt. Nice block by Ellis. Right down between home plate and Ellis, and with a runner at third base, this is not a comfortable place to be if you're the catcher. And they're going to probably go down there again on the 1-2 pitch.
Change the sideline. It's 2 and 2.
102 pitches into it.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Got him.
That's a gift. Diaz just had the bat taken out of his hands. Set the outside target, and look where he catches this thing. It's a little frame job from Ellis to even give it a chance. And look from up top, you can see how far off the plate it was. And Winters bites.
So here's Tomlinson.
But in the end, Greinke gets the strikeout he was pitching for.
Tomlinson has had some big hits in his short time in the big leagues.
Same pitch.
Yeah, really did look like it. One ball, 1 strike. Bumgarner's on deck. Into right center field. And that's going to end the inning. Bottom of the 7th coming up. All right, thanks, Dave. Here it's a 1-0 lead for the Dodgers. Bruce Bochy's been ejected. Don Mattingly's got some kind of a beef going on with the umpires. We're not quite sure what it is. But the way I see it, Mike Winters probably not having a good night.
Well, he was having a pretty good night till that 2-strike call on Diaz. And Bruce Bochy. Somebody gets tossed and he goes, what, me? Talking to me? You go. You go. You. No, not you.
It's not a good night. Peterson takes the call strike.
So we assume it's just one guy that got tossed, and that's the skipper. So Ricky winds up putting a 0 on the top of the board in the 7th, and it's up to Bumgarner to answer. Keep it or a 1-0 deficit.
One and two. So Bumgarner now at 97 pitches. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Think about Jock Peterson. He doesn't even know what a 2-strike adjustment swing is. He's going to hack. A 2 to a 3-2, and now it's a get it in situation.
Jimmy Rollins is on deck. Hit into the gap. Pagan on the move, and it is gone. So Peterson opens up the 7th with a home run.
Could not walk him. He had a challenge. And he gets all of it. He's finally out of the month of August. And here in September, he comes up with a huge swing of the bat. And that is home run number 24.
So here's Rollins. Rollins is 1 for 3.
Six hits in the month of August. He lost his job. And here tonight he comes up with a big swing of the bat.
Adrianza, 1 out.
Jake Peavy would get into Mike Winters' ear pretty good too from the Giants bench.
So here's Peraza.
So maybe he tossed Peavy and Bochy.
Out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Zach Greinke went to the head trainer, Stan Conti, took him downstairs. Conversation. And after this conversation, the Dodgers started getting their bullpen going again.
Slowly hit, but Tomlinson's going to get there. 2 outs, and here's Turner. So here's Turner. Turner's make that 0 for 2. No balls and 1 strike. Two outs here in the 7th as this is foul back. Nothing in 2. Avalon and Nicasio. And that'll end the inning. 8th inning coming up. 2-0 Dodgers.
With NBC Bay Area and Telemundo 48 as the Giants play the San Diego Padres, and the Giants will honor the team's great Latino tradition. We'll provide our usual comprehensive coverage in English on NBC Bay Area, but on Telemundo 48 we will present an authentic Spanish language telecast hosted by longtime Giants broadcaster Erwin Higueras and Telemundo's Gabriel Sotelo. Giants Hall of Famer Orlando Cepeda will be a special guest on both broadcasts.
So here's Nori Aoki, who's going to lead things off. He'll be the pinch hitter for Bumgarner. Gregor Blanco's on deck. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Both starting pitchers doing exactly what their managers wanted and needed them to do tonight, and that is go deep in the ballgame. Last night, both bullpens got taxed heavily with the 14-inning game.
Okie slaps it to left. And reaching up is Ruggiano at the last second.
Well, started to carry, and he almost overran it. Just a little back spinner. And Ruggiano takes a couple steps in, realizing, uh-oh, I need to get back, and indeed he does. High backhander.
So here's Blanco with Pagan to follow. And a shot into center field, and that's a base hit. And that'll bring Pagan to the plate.
Tim Hudson activated today in the bullpen. He will pitch the bottom of the 8th inning.
Pagan is 0 for 3. And he takes outside for a ball, 1-0. Base hit left field.
And here come the Giants.
That's a good swing.
Well, stay tuned immediately after Giants baseball for Esurance Giants Postgame Live. Highlights, reaction, and analysis, and it's all coming up right after the game.
So here's Duffy. Duffy is 0 for 3. Three balls hit hard this inning.
Tom Mattingly told A.J. Ellis to go out there and talk to Greinke. I can't imagine nobody in that bullpen is ready to go for the Dodgers. And perhaps maybe Mattingly just wanted to think about it a little bit more.
The Dodgers are not into the whole speed the game along.
Well, they also have some concern in the gap between the starter and Kenley Jansen, their closer. I mean, they've had problems in their bullpen. So they're pushing Greinke hard right now. This is an opportunity. It's the most pitches. Well, the most pitches that he's thrown this year, Greinke, is 119. He's on 113 right now. So he has been in this territory before.
Base hit. Blanco's going to score. It's 2-1. And here's Belt.
Some nice compact approaches. 2 base hits up the middle, 1 opposite way. Duffy going right back where it came from. And for Duffy, RBI number 61. And that's going to be it for Greinke.
When it's time for a change, things Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and small experts. We'll be back. talk about the game at 7:30 tomorrow morning. I'll talk about the game with Murph and Mack at 8:30 with Murph and Mack on KMBR 680, the sports leader. The fellas let me sleep in this morning.
Well, that was good. It was a late night last night.
That would have made no sense this morning. Contrary to some reports where I don't make a whole lot of sense anyway.
Well, here it's Luis Avila, the new pitcher for the Dodgers. 2-4 with a 3.74 ERA. 61st time that he has been in a ball game. Started the season off with the Braves. Dodgers picked him up in a trade. And when you take your at-bats against Avila, you're going to see a fastball that's low to mid-90s. He will sink and cut it. He's got a big curveball and a changeup.
So Pagano's at second and Duffy's at first. The RBI for Duffy is 61st of the year. So here's Belt. Belt is 1 for 3. He's had good at bats tonight. Those, of course, off of Greinke. Now he's facing the lefty.
And the ball is carrying to left field. And he's been carrying really from foul line to foul line, more so than we normally see.
So here's Belt, tying run at second. And Belt drives one down the right field line. This is going to be foul.
And immediately Ellis out to talk to Avila and say, do not throw that again. And I think the concern they had was that if you're going to throw a high fastball, you cannot get it in that location.
So Avalon keeps an eye on Pagan. Pagan isn't showing signs that he's going to go anywhere.
One thing about Avalon, though, I mean, he's not real quick out of the stretch.
That foul, so it's 0-2. That got Belt.
2 pitches, 2 fastballs. And a quick 0-2. May have been the message too from Ellis when he went out to talk. Maybe it wasn't the location of the fastball so much as check the runner at second.
So it's 0-2 to Belt. Foul again.
And he finally shows him his breaking ball. When you're taking your bats off him from the left side, you're going to see more curveballs than his changeup. He throws the changeup more to the righties. And it did not look like he had great snap on that breaking ball.
So it remains 0-2 with 1 out. Buster Posey on deck.
Tried to climb the ladder with the fastball up. See the Dodgers try that a lot in this series so far with Belt.
Foul again. So Pagan will go back to second. Duffy will go back to first. It's 1-2.
You like drama? You have come to the right place, folks.
We had 14 innings of it last night. So it's 1-2 to Belt. And Avalon's going to draw this thing out a little bit longer.
Get a high leg kick like he has. I mean, you're not going to be able to get rid of the ball quickly. I mean, he is not concerned about Pagan trying to steal third. Again, they go up top at 95, and again, Belt lays off. Right across the belt, off the plate away, spits on it.
Up the middle. That's one. That's two. And that'll end the inning.
I look back at some of the outstanding defense played in this game. This comes in the second inning with 2 on, 2 outs, 2 strikes, and a bullet to Duffy. Makes a play here. Jose Peraza, the rook, hits a ball in the gap, and it was Angel Pagan who cuts it off, takes away extra bases. Good defense, and that is our AT&T Universal Rewind.
And it's time for a change thing. Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog expert.
So the Giants welcome back Tim Hudson, making his first start, his first appearance out of the bullpen, I should say. In the rotation through most of the year, had some hot spots, had to go in the DL to calm down. On the year 6-8 with a 4.80 ERA. So he's coming out of the bullpen. With Hudson, you're going to see a sinker, high 80s. He'll cut the ball. He's got a hard slider, a curveball, and a changeup. 474 career starts. Is the second time he's come out of the bullpen.
So here's Gonzalez. Nick Noonan's now at short. One ball and one strike to Gonzalez, who singled in a run in the third. Drives this one, and it's over the head of Piazza, and it'll be a leadoff double for Gonzalez.
What we have seen Gonzalez do so well in this series, as he has done his whole career, is go the opposite way. And it looks to me like he's up there looking for one thing, something up, something away that he can do this with. Oh, it's hit hard. I really guess if you're the Giants, you have to feel happy it doesn't go out the ballpark. But they do get a leadoff double.
So here's Carl Crawford. And Crawford bunts this one, and it's going to roll foul.
With the speed of Crawford, a bunt situation, I mean, it brings a whole different element to the defense.
Oh, 0-1 to Crawford. Crawford on the ground. Noonan has it. Noonan will throw on to first. Gonzalez moves to third. Coming out.
Let's get it for the Dodgers, number 16, Andre Ethier.
He hit a home run last night off of Jake Peavy.
Breaking ball up, one of the few mistakes up that Peavy made with the breaking ball all night. And he made him pay.
So Ron Wotus is coming out. So Hudson's going to depart, but it's time for a change. Think Speedy. Oil change and auto service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. We'll be back.
Game series. Pre-game live at 6:30. Game time 7 p.m. You'll see it right here on CSN Bay Area. Plus, complete pre- and post-game coverage and Giants insider Alex Pavlovich at csnbayarea.com. The home of the authentic Giants fan, CSN. Mike Leake on the hill tomorrow night, taking on Clayton Kershaw. But here, lots of work to do here. New pitcher now for the Giants, Hunter Strickland coming in what is a pure strikeout situation with 1 out as he'll face Andre Ethier. 42nd time he's come in. A strikeout pitcher, a high velocity fastball, 2 types of movement, hard slider and a split.
Infield in. And a strike, and it's 0-1. And 1. And 2.
99 at the knees. You don't normally see emergency swings in 1 strike count, so that's what that was. Kenley Jansen, closer for the Dodgers, heating up. He will face the heart of the Giants order. And right now, it's up to Strickland to keep this a 1-run ball game.
Pagan racing in. He's going to get there. Gonzalez going nowhere. 2 down. As good as a strikeout.
Indeed it is. They don't have great speed with Gonzalez at third, and they're not going to take on Pagan's arm, not from that distance.
Number 17, A.J. Ellis.
Ellis is 2 for 3. And a strike, and it's 0-1. It's 100.
He's kind of loose tonight. Fastball. No, man. Ellis hadn't pulled the trigger yet.
Oh, 2 pitch. Here it is. And it's low.
Nice pitch. Another 100-mile-an-hour fastball down and away. I mean, the way that Ellis is taking those 3 fastballs, you got to think, is this guy sitting on a breaking ball? I suppose he's not messing around. He's going back with another fastball call.
Now, the one thing Strickland's done, at least most of his pitches here, is he's kept the ball down.
Slider.
Out of play.
Ellis is walking out of that box like he thought he should have did something with it. 1-2 slider, you do not want to throw a strike with it, and this was in the strike zone. And that has some big time hang on it, and that's what he has to get out of the system.
And that'll end the inning. Ninth inning coming up.
Matt Duffy is that man. Why? Well, how about defense early in the ball game took away a big inning for the Dodgers, and later on he comes up and one out runners at first and second situation, rifles a bullet up the middle and knocks in the only run that the Giants have put on the board. He is our player of the game, brought to you by Honda. Matt Duffy.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up, and Smog Expert.
So the closer, Kenley Jansen, comes on. You take a look at his numbers, and they're a bit cartoonish when you look at the strikeouts against walks. 65 strikeouts against 5 walks in 38 2/3 innings. And what he does is come at you with high velocity cut, low 90s. And that's pretty much it. Go get him. He's got other pitches, but for the most part, you don't think about him. Carl Crawford stays in the game. He's in left field. Andre Ethier is in right field.
So here's Posey. Buster tonight is 1 for 2. He's got pretty good numbers against Jansen. Buster's 9, or make that 5 for 11. Two and 0.
Just missed. And a look from up top, how close that was, just outside a bit. I think it broke the web of A.J. Ellis's glove, needs a new one.
Posey gets underneath this one. And it'll be Rollins who will put it away. I think Buster was leaning on that one.
Yeah, he's going to walk back to the dugout thinking he just missed it.
Number 6, Marlon Byrd.
So here's Marlon Byrd. Byrd tonight is 0 for 3, and against Jansen he's 1 for 8. Out of play down the right field line.
the way that Marlon Byrd has been taking his at-bats, a lot of what he's been doing has been going to right field. And that's the approach you have to have with a high-velocity cut. It is one of the hardest pitches to hit.
Foul back, 0-2.
Diaz on deck.
On the ground to third, and Turner's got it. 2 outs. And here's Diaz.
The fielder, number 45, Alejandro Diaz.
So Diaz stands in. He's hitless in 3 at-bats. And he takes low. And this should do it. Crawford. And that's the ball game. So game 2 in this series goes to the Dodgers. Giants a couple of opportunities, and they could not cash in, notably in the 7th. But the double-headed monster of Greinke and Kershaw tonight and tomorrow night, and the first one goes to Greinke.
Well, it was a classic pitching matchup, and the one swing of the bat that really proved costly was the at-bat to Jock Peterson. It came in the 7th inning in a 0-2 count. He went to a 3-2 count, and he took the 3-2 pitch over the wall in right center. That proved to be the difference in the ballgame. Tough loss.
Final score, Dodgers 2, Giants 1. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live. That's going to start right after these messages.